Today's AskReddit post. People who have bought a stranger a drink at the bar. How did it go? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. I bought a scary dude at a bar a drink once. Just to see what he'd do. No other reason. I'm just dumb like that. It went fine. He was a bit confused. Nothing else happened. Username absolutely checks out. Sounds like a song Tom Hardy would come up with. My wife and I were at a happy hour at a local Mexican restaurant. Pre-covered, they would lay out an impressive spread of buffet food for free. Drinks were $2 off. We would drop our sons off nearby for basketball practice and sometimes go for happy hour. So one Friday night, just after we arrived, an older couple, late 60s or early 70s, arrived and ordered their drinks. We shared the same waiter, and we told him we wanted to pay for their drink. Great. Until they proceeded to absolutely pound margaritas. 3 drinks to our 1. After about 90 minutes, we were finishing our second and last margaritas, and they were finishing their 6th margarita each. So we waved down our now busy waiter and clarified we would pay for their first drinks and not the 5 subsequent rounds. The waiter laughed and said he hadn't even told them of our offer yet. Phew. I was the designated wingman, deployed to get the convo started. Early in the evening we saw a group of cute girls. Tipped the bartender $5 to get them each shots of water. When it arrived they looked over at us. We tipped our glasses to them. They cheered back, clanked glasses, and down the hatch. Oh, the look on their faces. My brothers did not know how to follow up with banter and striked out as soon as they come over to chat us up. Damn. Swing and a miss lol. Setup was good. Swingman. I was bored poopless at a bar after a ducked up breakup and sent a few beers over to a girl who also looked bored. We had a kid a few years later. That was some expensive beer. Pretty long hangover too. It was awesome. I was really drunk and I bought a random fella a shot of tequila. He was from Iraq and we ended the night with him hugging me crying. Because people are usually scared of him thinking he's a terrorist. He hadn't felt included in so long. It was nice. The hangover was not. Years ago, not long after 9/11, I sold a car to a former Iraqi soldier. First Gulf War. Being genuinely curious, I asked him about it. He was one of the guys that surrendered to reporters. Said he was forced to be in Saddam's army or they would kill his family. He defected to the States after surrender and was able to bring his whole family. We are still friends to this day. You are a good human. I'm a guy. A man bought me a drink once. I was ducking stoked. I thought he wanted to talk sports. There was a lot of bro talk. I bought him the next round to pay him back. And then I continued on with my night with my buddies. The next day I realized what was going on and gave myself a little high five. I was visiting New York City and was out at a bar solo with 3 guys sitting next to me. One of the guys bought my next round randomly, so I thanked him and told the bartender right by his next round. His 2 friends shared a glance, then immediately got up and went to a nearby table, and the guy scooted close to me for some one-on-one time. I realized what was happening, but I enjoy company when I drink. So buckle up, buddy. We are talking about sports and movies for the next hour. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. The bartender gave me a glass of water that I didn't ask for, but hey, I like water. He immediately said, "Oops, that water was for her," and indicated a blonde sitting a few feet away. She was watching all of this. So I picked up the glass of water while making eye contact and licked all around the top of the glass. She laughed and came over and asked if she could join me, and we had a few drinks and laughs, but she got sloppy drunk and loud, so I excused myself and got an Uber. An older lady who was deep in a conversation with her friend quietly had the bartender get me a drink. She never looked or said anything to me, had her back to me talking to a friend. I thought it was nice. Said buy her 1 bag. The bartender then said she isn't trying to have anything happen. She's just being nice. Yeah. Of course. She's literally had her back to me all night. I didn't even pay her any mind. So I said I know. I'm just being nice too. And the bartender acted like I was trying to get with her. But she got the other girl a drink and we went back to not interacting whatsoever. Eventually I got sufficiently drunk and went home. That is honestly so bizarre. She flirted me up a bit. She told me she was there for her friend's birthday, so if I wanted to buy her a drink, I needed to get around for all her friends. I bought all 5 of them drinks. She took the drinks to their table and ignored me for the rest of the night. Next time a woman flirted me up at the bar, I went to order a drink and she asked me to get her one. I bought her a drink and she immediately walked away from the bar and didn't really talk to me the rest of the night. You'll learn next time. Well, judging by the fact it happened twice, I'd say that's a no. I was at my usual bar in college, and it was totally empty that night, but I was friends with the bartender. These 2 guys came in, and I overheard it was one's 21st day, so I bought him a drink, and we got to talking. They were brothers and the older one was extremely hot. Last call rolled around, and we go to walk home, and they lived a block from me, and we walked together. I ended up asking if they wanted to drink more at my place and we polished off a bottle of whiskey and hung out until daylight. I'm married to the big brother now. Been together 10 years and he's still astonishingly hot. Lucky girl. I remember seeing a cute girl at a bar in the early evening. One guy bought her a drink, which the bartender delivered. A different guy did the same. She smiled and waved thanks to them. I flagged the bartender down and ordered her a water. She laughed and we chatted a bit. That was the end of it though. This is not a bad move. The real pro move here is to send her over a nice rotisserie chicken, lemon slice and sprig of parsley for garnish. To class it up a bit, you know? I do it all the time when the bar line is really long. I walk up to a solo or couple and ask if I can buy them a drink so I can skip the line. Works every time. I get a drink within 5 minutes instead of 25, and they get a free drink. We go our separate ways after that. Brilliant. I was sitting at a local bar by myself having a burger and a beer. Suddenly, the bartender brought over a large whiskey shot, and I was confused until she leaned in and told me the gorgeous girl I had glanced at a couple times sent it over to me. We've been together ever since. Or for how long? Till he woke up. I got pregnant. What was in the drink? Not spermicidal lube. I lost a game of pool to a random guy at a bar once. Bought us both a shot of his choice. No problems. And then we chalked up our sticks and put them in each other's corner pocket. It was a great night, man. Listen here, wise guy. What I do with my Q and balls is nobody's business but my own. She splashed it on my face and told me to duck off, playing the old hard to get, hard to want. I haven't done that. Should I try once, even if I'm a girl? Absolutely. Everyone likes a free drink. Okay, I was a bit afraid of what society thinks about this, but I think I will try it. She took my whole goddamn kidney. What a weird name for your penis. That's a weird shape for a penis. I've done it a small handful of times. A few times it went nowhere. A couple of times we had fun and slept together. Once we went on dozens of dates and lived together and are engaged now. Nice. Is she single? Yeah. She loves free drinks. In the type of wanker who when tipsy splashes out. When I used to drink anyway, all my friends and all their partners and anyone in the group got free drinks. I'd go home alone. Minus $500 for the night. It's funny now that I'm older and don't party, how many of them friends I still have. I'd say at least 2 of them I keep in contact with. I'm not a bad drunk, just a waste money on people who I shouldn't waste money on kind of drunk. Funny story, my buddy was like this. He and his wife were visiting me in a mountain town in Colorado. Things are going well. I find a new friend. We break off and are making out a bit, while my buddy is buying rounds for all her friends and chatting and whatnot. My new friend and I go back to check in, and apparently my buddy's wife was not loving the situation. takes her full drink and throws it at said buddy's face for being too friendly. Of course, she's drunk, so she misses him and gets more me and my new friend before the wife storms off. This ruins all my hard work I had been putting in. Everyone breaks off into different directions, etc. I did go out with a girl once a week or so later, but the magic was gone. Sometimes when I'm visiting an unfamiliar bar occupied by a regular crowd, I'll ask the bartender to buy the house around. I'm talking hole in the wall, but friendly vibe type of place. Even if there is 15 to 20 people, it is not a wallet breaker if I'm expecting to cover $100 or so. Toss a nice tip on top and you are pretty much family at that point. I've never had a negative experience, and I've made some quick friends in what would have been an evening drinking among strangers. And typically I get a number of drinks in reciprocation. It's not an every time thing, because sometimes I want to drink quietly among strangers. Oh, and PS, you should have a story ready as to the reason you are buying, even if BS. Something to warrant the gesture, but not make me a mark. My go-to if asked is, grandson was born today, and I wanted to celebrate with others. I bought a drink for a woman one time. Hadn't made eye contact. No proof she was aware I existed. My biggest problem was that my friend that was with me hadn't had enough liquid courage to get up and go talk to her himself. I pulled the waitress aside, asked her to buy this woman whatever drink she wanted on my tab, but tell her it was from my friend. I received a text message at 3 AM from my friend that same morning that said, "If I marry her, you're going to be the best man at my wedding." Best part is that I have probably one of the greatest photos of me in a tux on their wedding day. Don't ever ask to just buy a girl a drink. Ask if she wants to have a drink with you. There's a difference. Bingo. I was a bartender for many years and I've given out this exact advice to uncertain young men countless times. Works *SO* much better if you just talk to her. Lots of times for various reasons, it always ends fine. The most interesting thing that happened was a dude happened to be the bar owner and he bought me something much fancier. I almost never did it. She approached me while we were playing darts and I offered her a drink. We're married now. To me, offering a drink is an invitation to continue the continuity of all the events preceding it, not necessarily an initial investment. Well, that's escalate extremely fast. Hey baby, can I get you a drink? Asterisk let's get married asterisk. My buddy was interested in this girl and wanted to go dance with her, but her friend wanted to leave. Trying to be a good wingman, I bought her a drink. This girl that I had been talking to earlier came up to me and said, "You ducked up. We were going to take you home with us." She was holding hands with another girl. Instead of doing the smart thing and explaining it, I was an idiot and said, "Bullpoop. You aren't together." They proceeded to make out in front of me and walked out. This makes me mad, and I didn't even do it. What a missed opportunity. Me, M28. I have too many of these stories as I'm quite extroverted and like connecting with strangers. Two of my favorite ones. Me and a friend were broke backpackers on a boat trip to a deserted island for a day. Started chatting with the man across from us, and eventually he invited us to join dinner in a nice beach restaurant where he had ordered some special local food in the days before. Had a great time. Then a day later we met him in the bar again, and he just told the waiter to put all our drinks on his tab. What a legend. Planning on paying this forward when I have a chance in the future. Went to a rooftop bar in Germany. Started talking very broken German to a man that just hopped in the elevator with us and asked how he was doing. Once we were in the rooftop bar, everything was full. Turned out this man was the manager of the place and got us a table, drinks, and even directed some female guests to our table. Fun nights. I go into a few VFW posts, and if I see some old guy drinking PBR, I'll order myself one and tell the bartender to give him one. One PBR drinker to another. Goes fine. With a buck tip, it's usually a $5 bill. I just noticed the NSFW, so now I realize you were asking if it got anyone laid. Not yet in my case. No, I had it for alcohol mention. I was in Melbourne alone one night after traveling there for a job interview. Sitting on a large couch surrounded by strangers. The waitress came around to take my order and I said, "Plus whatever these lovely ladies are having." They all laughed and I introduced myself and told them my story. Apparently one of the girls owned the club and thought I was adorable. Wasn't long before we were in the backroom office/lounge room. First time I ever saw a brick of coke chiseled away with an ice pick. Dangerous game. I've had some of the craziest nights from just buy someone a drink. Was feeling particularly confident that night, so I bought a girl who I made eye contact with at the bar a drink. We have 2 kids and have been together for 16 years. Damn, buying people is still legal? She tried to run me over with her car some months later. I feel like there's some context between bought her a drink and tried to run me over with her car that might be missing but not sure. I've bought hundreds of drinks for people, possibly thousands. I once bought a round for the house and some guy approached me and said he can buy his own drinks. I'm guessing the server told him I was buying him a drink and he thought I was gay or something. You should have loudly announced another round of drinks for everyone except this one particular guy. Yes, r/for Kyle in particular. While halfway around the world in Florence, I overheard 2 girls sitting at the bar beside me talking about how one of them had recently finished her medtech program. I was genuinely happy for her and said hey, I couldn't help but overhear but wanted to just say congrats and bought them both a shot. I wasn't trying to hook up with either of them and just wanted to do something nice for a pair of travelers like myself who were celebrating a big achievement. We ended up drinking, talking and partying all night, and I had new travel buddies for the next 2 weeks of my trip. When we had to go our separate ways, we ended up keeping in touch and would randomly get together in some other foreign place every year or so, if all the timing worked out. Unfortunately now we are all super busy with our careers and families that we haven't chatted in years, but I still think of them all the time and hope they're doing well. To Kelly and Lindsay, I love you guys. I was once bored at my table with friends and witnessed 2 people exchange glances further at the bar but no initiative. So I bought 2 drinks, asked the bartender to give it to them separately and say the other bought it. That was a very fun scene to witness from afar. They ended up chatting all night and leaving together. That's hilarious and a great story. I got married young and divorced young too. When I was ready to try dating again, I tried buying a woman a drink as an opener. It works significantly worse than just going up to her and saying hi, my name is Red. Is it because you are Irish? When he opened with that, they ended up becoming friends over 19 years in prison. And after she escaped, he followed her to Zahuatani Joe. I lost a game of rock paper scissors to my friend to decide who would get to talk to the cute girl in a group at another table. For still unknown reasons, he chatted up the friends and left me sitting next to the cute one. Married 20 years with 4 kids. Obligatory not me but my dad. He bought a random guy in a bar a drink in the past. Ended up talking all night and he became my dad's best friend lol. We got married. She is currently snoring next to me in bed. Sorry to hear that. Hard to tell who's going to be a snorer. In 2007, I took a stool by an old man watching the Bulls at my corner bar. We talked and I bought us rounds through the game. When he left, he asked my rent. Shook his head. Not anymore. I'm lowering it. He owned my building. Next day, rent was less. That Friday, the bartender waved. Showed me a ledger. My name and $300 banked for drinks. His gift. To. They spilled it on one of my friends. He didn't take it well, mayo. Not me, but this girl bought my brother a drink. And now they are married with 2 kids. Dude had a shirt of my favorite band. I complimented his shirt and bought him a drink. Had a chat for a couple of hours, then we never saw each other again. You are good dude, Stefan. Godspeed. Good temporary friend. I buy random people drinks all the time. puts a smile on their face, and they become fast friends. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.